Putin's nuclear scare tactics. The West is shouting about a new strike. The SPU operation has finally broken the dictator. He's on his knees but continues to spit venom towards Ukraine. He urgently puts everyone on alert. Once again, there are threats to strike with the Oreshnik. The unexpected has happened. More details about this in the following report.
With its special operation web, Ukraine has demonstrated that it is capable of striking Russian targets deep within Russian territory. This was stated in an interview with the American TV channel Fox News by Keith Kellogg, the U.S. President's special representative for Ukraine. At the same time, he's concerned that such attacks could increase the risk of escalation.
When you target a part of the adversary's national survival system, namely its triad, its nuclear triad, it means the level of risk increases, because you don't know how the other side will react. It's a very bold attack, but when you do this, it's quite clear that all other levels will escalate. I think this is exactly what we're trying to avoid.
The use of drones is a sign of modern warfare which everyone needs to adapt to. But in this case, according to Kellogg, it's more about the psychological impact on the Russian leadership and military. At the same time, the special operation has shown that Ukraine has no intention of giving up.
Every time you attack the nuclear triad, it's not so much about the damage you inflict on the triad itself or the bombers, but about the psychological impact. Essentially, Ukraine is saying that it knows how to play this game too, and that they can raise the level of risk to unacceptable heights.
Colonel Richard Kemp warns Ukraine of Putin's inevitable retaliation for the destroyed Russian aircraft. The former commander of British forces in Afghanistan shared his perspective on the consequences in one of the tabloids. He suggests that Russia might launch a nuclear strike against the concentration of Ukrainian troops or one of the airfields.
An even more horrifying scenario would be a nuclear attack on a nuclear power plant. Although the radiation from the tactical weapon itself would not pose a threat to Western Europe, radioactive fallout from a destroyed reactor would cause significant environmental damage. The consequences could overshadow the Chernobyl disaster. The latter possibility is almost unthinkable. A nuclear bomb dropped on a Ukrainian city such as Odessa or Kyiv.
The Kremlin has constantly threatened Western societies in order to achieve its goals. Therefore, there is no need to fear Russian nuclear intimidation. The Ukrainian Center for Countering Disinformation of the National Security and Defense Council is convinced.
Right now, all the talk in Western media about the nuclear threat only benefits Russia, because nuclear scare tactics are part of the fear propaganda they have always used to intimidate Western societies in order to achieve their goals without war. Publications about a Russian nuclear strike serve only to instill fear.
Moreover, this kind of nuclear saber-rattling is harmful, first and foremost, to the aggressor country itself.
It's important to always remember that even the mere theoretical intention to carry out a nuclear strike would harm Russia much more. Because today the entire world stands against the use of nuclear weapons, and Russia survives solely on energy resources that are still being purchased from it.
Meanwhile, Volodymyr Zelensky once again called on the West to increase pressure on Russia so that the aggressor pays the highest price for the war it has unleashed in Ukraine. Sofia Żelezniak, Katerina Krawiec, Podrobności, Inter TV Channel, United News Marathon.
Right now, the sky is on fire. The anti-aircraft gunners are making new history without unnecessary noise, swiftly and accurately. Silent hunters. The enemy calls them ghosts. They take down everything that flies and inflict millions in damages. Lancets fall one after another, even halfway to their target. More about the broad-shouldered guardians who keep watch over the skies in the following story.
They hide behind the clouds, descending toward the horizon. This is the time for the night hunters of enemy UAVs to get to work. First, as usual, comes the commander's briefing.
Guys, we are about to go on duty now. Our task is to detect shockheads and similar ones. Those are our parodies, greetings. We'll detect them and we'll destroy them. The more drones we destroy here now, the less our rear will suffer. Let's go.
In a nearby grove, a truck with an anti-aircraft gun is hidden under a camouflage net.
A ZU-23-2 system mounted on a ZIL-131 chassis.
The anti-aircraft gunners of the 118th Brigade move to combat positions along the dusty dirt roads of the Zaporizhia steppes. The air defense crew hides their anti-aircraft gun among the trees. Enemy scouts, for example, the Zala drones, are constantly prowling around here. In fact, says 42-year-old Alexander from Vinnytsia, they try to shoot those down as well.
Zalas, and there was a super Lancet. It's important to know its distance and speed, and then set new lead corrections.
We shot down both Supercam and Lancet. Shaheeds have also been shot down.
But the biggest threat, says the 25-year-old officer, the one that really matters, is of course the Shaheeds. There are more of them now, and they're flying too high.
We are fighting back, firing at them. If before they could fly at about 1.5 to 2 kilometers, we could see the same bursts from the anti-aircraft guns and adjust our aim properly, but now it's hard even to detect them. They've climbed to almost 5 kilometers.
This is another concealed position on the first line of air defense, equipped with an anti-Shahed anti-aircraft gun.
Previously, it was used to fire at infantry, but now the direction of the war has changed. They gave us all the necessary sights. That's the only way.
Here, together with his comrade, is a 56-year-old man from Vinnytsia with the call sign Shaman. He says their shift is around the clock, so the question of when they manage to rest brings a genuine smile.
That's how we keep going. Somewhere where there's no alert, you need to go wash up, buy something, and that's it. Well, sometimes here, there are half days when, there's nothing going on. It's quiet and calm. Then we try to go somewhere to get some sleep.
Two comrades with the call signs Murchik and Sanich are also setting up their anti-aircraft gun, getting ready for a night hunt. The anti-aircraft gunners say they have a collimator sight, but for better effectiveness, they need something more.
We try to shoot down Shaheeds, but we still need to upgrade the anti-aircraft gun to make things easier for us.
Sanich from Kherson shows us the sight the anti-aircraft gunners of the 118th Brigade need a mount for. And not only that,
we need a mount, a tablet for it, and of course the software as well. The spotlight no longer reaches them. They fly very high now, at least 2,500 meters. We simply can't reach them with the spotlight, but the sight is much better, we can actually see them.
So the anti-aircraft gunners of the 118th have launched a fundraiser for mounting systems, sights and tablets to more effectively shoot down Russian Shaheeds.
This will greatly speed up our ability to detect the enemy and to accurately target them, that is, to see them on the tablet and track them.
And they are asking for support from anyone who cares. Andriy Pocht, Artem Dezhenko, Fakti, ICTV, United News.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.
This is a first on the front line. A next-generation sniper rifle is already in the hands of our defenders. Once shot, then the enemy is thrown into a panic. Neither trenches, nor armor, nor experience can save them. The skilled hands of our soldiers turn this weapon into a true instrument of wonder. It hits its target precisely and makes its presence known, even when operating in silence. More details about how it works in the following report.
From the so-called assembly of components to full-scale domestic production in less than a year. In November 2024, the Ukrainian state company Ukroboronprom announced the start of licensed assembly of the Czech arms manufacturer's Brand 2 assault rifles. And now, 6 months later, the domestic factory is already capable not only of assembling the Western model of the weapon, but also of independently producing all the necessary components for it. This is already up and running. The first step is the installation and production of small parts. The next step is full-scale production, meaning the complete transfer of the technology to Ukraine. The Brand 2 assault rifle, as Western arms manufacturers assure, is a new generation automatic weapon. It is a modern firearm system developed based on the American AR rifle and the Soviet AK. As a result, the Czechs took the best features from both models and combined them into an entirely new weapon in terms of design and internal components.
In terms of quality and resistance to dirt, it seems to me that the Kalash now has a worthy competitor.
Resistance to dust and dirt is not the only advantage of the Czech Brand 2. Due to its design differences, this assault rifle immediately won over Ukrainian defenders. Today, it is quite popular on the front lines.
It works great. We haven't tested it for grouping. The weapon isn't highly accurate, but the automatic mechanism works excellently. The barrels are durable and intuitively designed.
At the same time, the Czech rifles assembled in Ukraine have a high level of modularity, which allows the weapon to be quickly adapted for specific tasks.
What do we see on top? Undoubtedly, this is an advantage of the Scar. It's an extruded upper receiver Picatinny rail, and it's uniform along the entire length. You can mount your aiming devices and any optics along the entire length of the upper receiver on the Bren.
In the Czech Republic, the Bren 2 is in service with both army and police units. In Indonesia and Mexico, the rifle is mainly used by police and the special forces, while in France it is used by gendarmerie special units. As for Ukraine, the Bren 2 is most widely used by special units of the main intelligence directorate. Most often, you can see it in the hands of Kraken fighters and members of the International Legion.
Of course, this weapon is not highly accurate, but what can be noted is that this carbine has a rather high rate of automatic fire, and that's actually quite nice. You do need to learn how to control it a bit, as practice has shown. Not everyone manages to do it right away, especially with the short barrel.
Today, the Ukrainian factory producing Czech assault rifles is confidently reaching a capacity of up to 400 rifles per day. However, by the end of 2025, both domestic and Western arms manufacturers assure that our country will be able to independently produce tens of thousands of Bren 2 units.
That's all from me for now. This was me, Darlina Hutsakalo. Even more scorching news from the front lines in our next episode. And in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. See you soon.